Good morning. It's saying live, but I did not want to do just live. I'm not sure what that means, but if somebody pops in here, they pop in here. I didn't want to do this live. I just wanted to make a recording. So no matter. How is everyone today? It's great to come to you in this beautiful springtime. How are the energies with you? Have you been feeling all of the twos and fros, ups and downs, waning and waxing? There's much going on. It's palpable. I wanted to come to you this morning, yeah, and I'm even feeling it myself. My energy feels a little bit reduced today. I feel a little bit, yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a peace and a quiet space. I'm in one of the waxing moments, I think. Nope, wrong word. Waning, reducing back from the fullness. We just had this big, beautiful, huge, full super moon, and it is the first moon of the astrological calendar. And now we're in Taurus in eclipse season, and the energies are changing again. So I just wanted to come to you. I was in meditation yesterday, doing my own internal seeking for my own path, and many times some of the things come up in my own path, and my heart says to share it. So I'm going to keep speaking about these things as long as it's in my heart to do so. And I'm not really concerned with who thinks what about what it is I'm sharing. We each have our own puzzle piece to bring to this tapestry that we're creating together, co-creating as beloveds. And my heart has not changed in this. I have changed. Things have changed. I have grown. I have increased in frequency, variation. Many things like that have changed. But the foundation of this part of myself that is so profound to me has not changed. And it's not going to until it does. All right, I titled this video, "The Key to Standing on the Other Side Between the Old and the New," that is present before both of us right now. And many of us are operating with a complete visual and absolute tangible accessibility to the old while operating in the frequency of the new. So there's a key to this next phase that we're in. And if your frequency is matching the lock that this key fits into, it will open for you. The Spirit of Mary has spoken very clearly to me, and I've written it several times and spoken it other times, of how difficult it's going to be for human beings in this earth story to move away from the paradigm of learning and doing things. This is what we've done for eons. This is what this entire illusion has been built on. And there's something very alien and very unknown and scary about not continuing to pursue what draws you informationally. There are many people that are digging around, trying to learn new things that are about, and believe me, there'll be plenty presented to you. If you have the heart that's still wired to say you need to learn something, oh, there will be information for you to be presented. And that's beautiful. This is neither negative nor positive, bad, good, up or down, or otherwise. I'm simply speaking my heart and my truth to those that are already in a frequency alignment to hear it. So if that is your path, it's beautiful. But if it is not your path, and you're finding that you're running into wall after wall after wall, and you're not experiencing what you feel palpably in your heart to experience, you know that there's supposed to be something giving here. You know this, you can feel it. And if that's you, then I am going to challenge you today to even at least contemplate the possibility of giving up the idea of learning anymore. It is a very deep grief and a very difficult path to let go of that. I know, I can speak with authority because I walked that path. It's a beautiful path. I'm grateful beyond anything I can explain for it. It is the breadcrumbs that brought me to this now knowing moment. But in my circumstances, in my heart, and from my perspective and my puzzle piece, I can see that it no longer serves. There's nothing to learn. This is the way of Mary, the way of the balancing of the divine feminine masculine energies in both Mother Earth, Father Sky, Source Creator, and all of us, the beloveds. It is time for us to restore this story, this earth plane, this co-created thing that we're doing together to its beautiful state that we originally embarked upon. When you go to restore something, when you go to, I don't want to say create something new because it only feels new because we've forgotten. But that's okay because part of this thing that we're doing is the earth story. And it's not the time of learning, it's the time of accepting that we're both and. This bridge has become complete. It's become solid. It's no longer rickety. Both sides are securely attached to the shore and to the water, easily walked across. Unless you're looking for something to learn so you can do things. This key that I'm talking about is the antipas of learning and doing things. Let me read you my notes. The way of extending all that can be, which is what we are, you can feel that all that can be within you, can't you? You're looking around and you're not seeing it in this three-dimensional plane that we clearly see and clearly engage and are clearly experiencing. But there's this allness within you that you feel it, it's palpable. The way of extending all that can be, of making available all that is not yet known. Now, see, we believe that by coming to a place of knowing, there's learning to be done. Knowing is the same thing as remembering in this game that we're playing now. It's simply remembering what you already know deep within every one of your bodies, spiritual, ethereal, elemental, emotional. You know. So let me reword that. The way of making all that is not yet remembered is not through forming something. There's a lot of activity, and I feel the drive to create something, do something, build something, create something around me. I'm feeling that same presence that there's movement here. Something needs to be created. Is not through forming something, but by forming relationships. I know, I can feel your eye roll right now. The new, the key to the new is in relationship. Let me tell you why. Relationships and union. Divine masculine feminine union of these counterparts that will be coming together to take their place in this tapestry and be powerfully moving these frequencies forward and upward. And divine friendships, divine sisterhoods, divine brotherhoods, divine relationship, however it is that you are relating to the one before you. In union and relationship, out beyond the intention to form things or to learn, we mirror the truth with a capital T of this new way we all feel a deep desire to follow that is far from the old way being presented to us. We mirror the truth we discover and then we reflect it, one to the other. It is this time that we need to move back into these divine unions and these divine relationships for this mirroring effect, which is why we're here, which is why God is ineffable, why you cannot put a face to God, you cannot put a name to God. We are the divine expression of our source creator. And in that divine expression is mirroring. The plank in the eye, the speck in the eye, what that meant at its most deepest meaning that I've come to know is that you look at your brother and you see a plank and you want to remove it, but you must remove the speck in your own eye first. Well, without that brother seeing you, and without you seeing that brother or sister, or brother to sister, or sister to brother, that plank that you see is you. It is the only way to see you. Everything that you see before you is you. If it's come across your path, it's about you. It's not about the beloved before you. But lo and behold, and most importantly as well, everything that they see in you is them. So these specks and these planks become revealed to us. The truth is discovered, and we mirror it one to another. Now, let me ask you, if you don't have a mirror to see a reflection, how can you check to see what it looks like? You cannot. We will not be able to enter into this next phase on the other side of the old and stand in the new in this now moment without connection, union, and relationship. You can say that I'm being very matter of fact and that is some type of, subconscious wordplay, whatever you want to think. I'm hearing and feeling so many responses right now. I'm just telling you that in my heart and been given to me to share with you, this is the truth. Now, anytime I hear something and it makes me raise my eyebrow and I go, I just don't know about that. I do something and it reveals the truth to me every time. So I challenge you today, pretend for the rest of April that this is the truth. I mean, what's it going to hurt? 15 days or so, you pretend, you get to the end of it and you're like, she's full of crap. She doesn't know what she's talking about. This is so not my truth. Great. But what if you pretend it and everything within you becomes expressive in the outer? All the internal work that you've done, all the balancing, all the beautiful, hard, incredible work that I feel and know in my heart that you've done, and you know too, will manifest in the outer into the most beautiful, incredible, exciting, powerful, wonderful, moving experience you have yet to discover. What if that happened? By just pretending to move your perspective from learning to knowing, and from solitude and fear of connection and fear of vulnerability. What if you just stripped everything off and whoever is in your path, whoever is in your heart is the one you do this with? Strip everything off and be naked before one another. Be vulnerable because you're perfectly safe in this. This is a highly protected time. Give it a go. I'm past pretending. I've pretended it enough to know that now it's not only possible, it's probable. It's not only probable for me now, it is a full-on is. The only place I will tarry is in the focus of union, relationship, and the discovering of truth one to the other. Now, the crazy thing is this desire to build things, to put things together like communities and places to be where we can share one another will naturally manifest out of this movement. You will not be able to create a circumstance and then place the beloveds in that circumstance and have it work in the new. Oh, it will work in the old. We've been doing that for eons. How you liking that so far? Happy with the results? Feeling good about what you're seeing out there in that 3D, 4D experience that we are face to face with every day? Loving what you're seeing? No? Well, propose to do something different so we can all have that different result that we desire. I stand here on the other side of learning, the other side of things, And I will be sent those who have set this learning aside, those who are ready for the new way. And I'm very excited about all those beloveds coming into my outer, because it is fully complete within, and I know I'm just looking with great hope and expectation that it will manifest in the outer. I'm having trouble talking this morning. So that is basically what I wanted to share with you. And it is very difficult for us to let go of the old. A beloved that read a statement about this reiterated to me when I made the statement how difficult it will be, and most will not be able to take the grief that they feel. And you will grieve over the process of learning, believe me. Grief is only the proof that your heart has a immense capacity to care, and that you are still seeing the old being walked out in this new energy that you're in. And it is a grieving process. I feel grief daily over these things. Grief is a beautiful indicator that you have a big, expansive heart of your Father, Mother, God that can still witness, see, and experience the old as you're walking in the new. So you will grieve. And like my statement that I made, that a beloved responded to, that learning, that walking away from learning is going to be a grief and a burden that most will not be able to carry. The response was that I will always be learning. I will always be growing and learning. That's just the way of this path that I'm on. And that totally, completely supported the comment that I made. Very few will be able to let go of the old way of learning and the doing of things and step into the naked, vulnerable space of union and relationship and remembering who we are. So just a little challenge, pretend. Even if the rest of the April seems crazy to you or too long, or it just sounds ridiculous, try it for 24 hours. Try it for one day and see what occurs. The reason why this is such a deep message and so heavily on my heart is because within my auric field, in my perspective, in my puzzle piece, my thread in this beautiful tapestry, I have come to know in this now moment, and still coming to know so clearly, how this key absolutely must be inserted into the lock and turned. And I am there. I stand there. And I'm excited and full of hope for those that pick up their thread for the tapestry, their puzzle piece, and move forward with their truth and their understanding of this into the new. It is in relationship and union, my darlings. I know that many of you are feeling that. Some of you are so drawn, and you think about it all the time. You think about these others in your life that you are feeling drawn to reconnect, new connect with, or you're thinking of this new connection and just looking into the horizon for it to appear to you. Because this is a very, very, very energetic pull towards union. The new is here. The labor pains are over. The baby has been born. It is now maturing, and it needs both masculine and feminine energy for the rest of this journey. No more separation. No more island moments. It is time. And I speak also to you. I know not your form that you will be arriving in. I know not the distinction of your earth character being. But I know you. I've known you. I've known you for eternity. And I know that the individual counterpart that is coming to me in this time of union is this close. And it isn't something in the outer, it's what's happened within the inner. And I can feel it, and it's palpable, because the outer must represent the inner. everything we create, the universal law is that we must also experience everything that we create. And as creators, it's exactly what we're doing right now. What do you want to create? Interested in the new? New heaven, new earth, fifth dimension, balanced frequencies, the beauty that has come through so many different texts, so many different stories, so many different truths. For myself, the most profound one is the story surrounding Yeshua and Mary. Now, that doesn't have to be your story. It could be a million other stories. It could be the Quran. It could be Thoth. It could be Atlantean information that's downloaded directly to you. It could be a million different things. But I can tell you, it doesn't matter what brought you here. Union is the key to walking through to the other side and seeing it manifest. You've already done the work inside. Nothing to be afraid of. I heard a parable on TikTok, and I'm going to share it. And he shared the parable and says, what does it mean to you? And I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to say what it means to me, but I immediately had an expansive image of what this story meant to me. There were 10 friends walking through the forest. Loved, wonderful friends that wanted to stay together. They came to a river and they knew they needed to cross to get to the other side, because the other side is where they were going to build their community. The river was a bit rough and it looked a little bit daunting, but they decided it was time. So they grabbed hands and decided that they would cross the river together and clasp hands so that no one would get lost. Well, they jumped into the river and it was turbulent and rough, and there were rocks, and it slammed them to and fro, and it was a very difficult crossing. But they held on one to the other so that no one would be lost. And they all made it safely to the other side, very, very battered, and very, very excited to be able to begin to walk in the new that they knew was on the other side of the river. They were very concerned to make sure that everyone arrived safely, so they decided to take account to make sure that all 10 were there. One of the beloveds decided to counted all the people, and there were only 9. Got a little bit panicky. I think we've lost someone. So everyone else took their turn counting, and they only got to 9. So they began to panic that they'd lost a beloved. They were running around in this intense panic, looking for this lost beloved, thinking, how are we going to find them? When a gentleman who lived on the other side by himself, very wise man, came up to them and said, dear friends, beloveds, why are we so concerned? Why are we panicking? And they described their journey and that they had lost one of their friends. Now, the man looked at them interestingly enough, because he could see clearly that each one of them had just forgotten to count themselves. So there were fully 10 people there. He saw them clearly. He did not understand their conundrum. But he said, I can help you find that lost friend. But you have to follow what I tell you to do. And I promise you, you will find that lost friend. Oh, they were overjoyed. Whatever it is you need us to do, we'll do it. We cannot lose one, not one at all. We have to be complete. He said, all right. He goes, I am going to whack you hard over your head. And each time I do, I want you to count off the number. Each person count off the next number in succession. Every single time that I whack you over your head. Okay, we'll do it. We can't be down by one person. It's not acceptable. So he whacked the first one on the head. Ouch, said 1. And then 2, and then 3, went through the entire group of people till they got to the last one, when the final brother or sister or beloved, whichever one you envision in your mind, said 10. They all were so excited and greatly rejoiced that all 10 were now present. They had no idea how this beautiful master and beloved one was able to find that 10th one, but they rejoiced. Now, there's a huge and deep, profound spiritual truth in that story. What is it for you? I love you all so much. I am grateful to each and every one of you. And I'm looking forward to the arrival of all those that will come and stand in this new place through divine union and the remembering of who we are. Have a beautiful day, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Oh, and don't forget that the 22nd of April, here in a few days, is Earth Day, which is an Earth character thing that we do. But it's also a 444 day, because it's the 4th month, The day is 22, you add those together, it's 4. The year is 22, you add those together, it's a 444 moment. And for me, that is completion of mission. So I'm very looking forward to it. Just be mindful of it, maybe go into meditation and honor our mother. Should I? This may be a good moment. I have a very profound question or circumstance to propose to you about the powerful movement into this divine feminine energy, and how literally, whether you like it or not, or it ruffles your little feathers, or it makes you happy and sing and dance, whatever it does, the truth of the matter is this. All right. I am going to pretend that I'm going to give you 45 minutes to tell me everything that you've come to know so far, everything that you believe, everything that you stand on, whether it be Father and the Holy Spirit and the red letters and all the scriptures in the New Testament, or whether it be the Book of Thoth and Egyptian, magical concoctions of things, whether becomes from Catholicism or mysticism, whatever it is that you believe, whether you're a man or a woman incarnate with divine masculine, feminine energy imbalanced or balanced within you, whatever it is that you hold on to, pretend that I give you 45 minutes and I'm just going to sit back and listen to you and tell me everything that's within your heart that you are sharing with others because you believe it to be so profoundly important and true that they see whatever that is for you. I'm going to take a deep breath. You don't have to say it. We're not going to take 45 minutes, but okay, just kind of, if you can think of anything, the profound thing that you see the most right now in this moment. Now let's go backwards eons and eons and eons to the beginning of Mother Earth and Father Sky in this story that we're in. And the very first beautiful creation that was brought to this living library and what they believed, held, and hoped for. Okay, that very first one. Doesn't matter whether it was benevolent, non-benevolent, whether you see it as negative, positive, Anunnakis, or fallen angels, whatever you believe. But let's just take that first creator that brought its creation to this earth and what they held and believed. That encompasses everyone from eons to this now moment. All right, has everybody got it? You've got it. I've got mine. I know you've got yours. I want you to walk outside. Put your feet on the ground. And then I want you to take your entire paradigm, your entire puzzle piece, your entire story, and look down. Where has your entire creation in existence in this three-dimensional game that we're playing, the story that we're in, this beautiful co-creation, where did it occur on? This is the one thing all of us cannot negate in this Earth story. Key word being Earth. Doesn't matter what your puzzle piece says. Guess who supports it, who gives it life, who has fed it, nurtured it, and cared for it the entire time while enduring the most horrific and imbalanced abuse throughout the eons without ever doing anything but continuing to care, love, nurture, and hold. Mother. There isn't an indigenous person or a non-indigenous person or any kind of human being on this planet that does not understand the reference to Mother as the earth. And the peoples that have been here and are closest spiritually to the truth, the Hopi, the Navajo, all of the indigenous people, the Hopi, one of the, the last indigenous people that actually live exactly like they've lived for eons, refer to that as Mother. It's not negotiable. Not in this story. Doesn't matter what stance you are in. If you think it's crazy, all this speaking of divine feminine balance, and you think that it's, just feminism, if you are, it doesn't matter your perspective, even if you're on board and you are a massive feminist and all you can see is femininity and you don't make any room for the divine masculine, it doesn't matter. All taking place on Mom. So who the heck do you think holds this? Divine feminine is the contained. Divine masculine is the container. Father Sky contains Mother Earth and has been holding her for eons. This is a Balance, my loves. You can't negate mother. We can't get there without that contained being in the container. But it is the contained that has held the power of creation this entire time, the power of birth, the power of life. It's just what it is. You can't negate it. Look down. It doesn't matter what you do. You could be the most horrible, vile, murderous, satanic, ugly, whatever words you can come with, or the most benevolent, angelic, beautiful, lit being. It wouldn't matter. If you're here, it takes place on mom, and she's the one that supports it and has the whole time in perfect benevolence and absolute unconditional love. Another key. Have a beautiful day. I'll leave you with that. We'll talk soon.